but you're still mine.
What's going on? What's going on? Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Come on in. Welcome to the live podcast. Don't wait to be great, guys. Welcome, everybody. If you guys are on Clubhouse, go ahead and jump on YouTube at Forston Consultants. We are live. So thank y'all so much for being here, guys. We super appreciate it. My name is Derek Forston. I'm the owner and operator of Second Chance Housing, and that's my personal independent living facility. I'm also the founder and thought leader of Forston Consultants, where my family and I, we go all over the world showing people what this shared housing model is, better referred to as the independent living facility model. That's the phrase that we've coined, and we've also trademarked it. So, guys, we have literally trademarked the phrase independent living facility, and we come here every Monday night to share with you all how to do this. God blessed me many years ago, man, to get into this, and I promise God that if he made it work for me, I'd go all over the world sharing it to people in terms of what it is, how to get started, and explaining and bursting those myths of you guys thinking that you have to have a license to start your own housing program, by bursting that myth by thinking that you have to be a nurse or some kind of CNA. None of that is true, ladies and gentlemen. So again, that's what we come here to do each and every Monday night, is again to dispel the myths that you guys can start your own housing program and you don't need permission, right, from DCF and ACA and all of these government agencies. So again, good evening to everybody here. You guys are right on time. And if this is your first time ever joining us, my team has a free gift for you. They're going to drop something below, right? So we want you to text the word new to 407-326-0086. And my team actually has a free gift for you. So again, if you type the word new to 407-326-0086, my team is going to drop some information and make sure that you get it. There's also a scholarship available in terms of what we do. But again, welcome everybody. Welcome all. Because again, if you ever want to house people, or if you ever want to start your own housing program, or you thought you wanted to start a group home, do not start a group home, right? Start an independent living facility so that you can take home people from homeless to hopeful, and it doesn't require a license, and you do not whatsoever have to own the property. So thank y'all so much for being here. I want to talk a lot about tonight about relationships and also building relationships. So again, if you're new to us, we love questions. So we want you guys to ask a ton of questions. Good evening, Miss Peppers. I think you were in that room Sunday that I'm a part of every morning. So I'm glad to see that you're here. What's going on, Janine, Miss Angela, Miss Rita? Good to see everybody. And all of my people that are streaming from different outlets, my folks that are on Instagram, my folks that are on Clubhouse and YouTube. Thank y'all so much for being here, man. You guys got a lot of choices of where you could be on these internet streets, but you guys chose to be with us. So we're super excited about that. So again, if you guys have any questions about tonight, about shared living and co-living, make sure you ask us and let us know. What's going on, Neonta? So again, I want to jump right into tonight's topic, and I want to jump right into that relationship part, because we get a lot of questions each and every week, and people ask us, Derek, how do you guys, or what are you doing to build the relationships in terms of what you're doing? And even some of the pictures that you're seeing me scroll through now, Miss Tony, a lot of times people ask me, Derek, what does this place look like? Miss Tony, a lot of times people think that when I talk about an independent living facility, that it's this big box building with 155 beds in it, right? And that's not what it is. It's literally what you kind of see on that screen, which is a regular 4-bed, 2-bath home, 3-bed, 2-bath home. And I'm going to get more into that here in a minute. But I want to talk about, how do we make it work? What is the funnel system to get all of these people that we're housing? So hopefully by now you guys are being nosy and you're finding us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest, and YouTube. And you're seeing a lot of what we're posting literally minutes before we went live tonight. There were several posts that went out at Second Chance Housing on Instagram and Facebook. So if you're on a tablet or a phone and you could do things at the same time without leaving YouTube, go to Facebook or Instagram and look at what was literally just posted on my page in terms of letting the community know, letting social workers and case managers know what we do. And again, if you just joined us, these are not group homes. We hate the word group home. Group home has a stigma that's attached to it that we don't like. So we coined the phrase independent living facility. And that simply just means where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. So one more time, what is an ILF? What is an independent living facility? Because I never just take for granted that people know who we are and what we do. So I'm gonna pretend that nobody knows us, right? So an independent living facility, again, the most important letter to this whole acronym is the I, right? Miss Peppers, the I means independent. That's what makes this different from a group home, because I'm not cooking for these people. I'm not providing transportation, right? And I'm not trying to pretend to be a nurse like Miss Neonta. You're going to see a lady in the chat that we taught this to named Miss Neonta St. Fort. Her and her husband, they're actually nurses, right? Emergency room nurses, right? So they're kind of up there on the tier of being a nurse. But guess what? She really didn't need to be a nurse to do this. She just happens to be a nurse. So when we teach Neonta, when she's introducing herself to people, she's going to not lead out that she's a nurse. She's a housing provider with a program by the name of Saints Care. Oh, and by the way, I'm also a nurse. See how great that sounds? But we're not going to lead out that Neonta's a nurse. She's a housing provider. But lucky for you, Mr. Social Worker and Case Manager, or whoever she's getting the clients from, I'm also a nurse. But again, that's where adults, not children, not teenagers, not the married couple. Miss Pepper, sometimes people hear this when we talk about it, and they think that I'm housing girlfriends and boyfriends. No, I don't. I don't house women and children. I don't house the pregnant lady with 3 kids. We house the single, individual, adult male. The single, individual, adult female. And this slide talks about live and thrive. My favorite one out of this whole thing is thrive, because thrive means do well. That means that I can provide a housing arrangement for these adults, and they don't need me to feed them. They don't need me to cook their bologna sandwich. I don't have to administer their medications, right? I don't have to pretend to be a nurse and get in trouble. I don't have to go and buy an 18-passenger van. Hey, Miss Joanne, I don't have to go and buy an 18-passenger van to drive these people around. And again, that's the difference between a group home or an ALF, which is an assisted living facility, versus this independent model that we talk about. And look at the topic for tonight: how to house the homeless using the Uber model. Most of you in this room have heard of Uber, because if you haven't, you've been living under a rock. Uber came up with this concept, guys, that is genius, where you can rent a car. But Uber, the company themselves, they don't have any cars, Miss Peppers. Miss Peppers, can you imagine the meeting that they had that day where some guy said, man, hey guys, I got an idea. We're going to start a rental-car company, but guess what? We're not going to buy any cars. That sounded so dumb the day he said that. Can you imagine how many people missed the gravy train on investing in that company? I myself know somebody, not me, but I know somebody that had the opportunity to invest in Uber like the first week they brought it out. He thought it was the dumbest idea ever. He thought like me. How can you start a rental car company, Miss Joanne, but you never have the intention on buying a fleet of cars? How do you make that work? Somebody was genius enough, Katara, to say, man, you know what? Let's leverage the general public. Let's let everybody use their own car. Let them also make money from it. Let's build a platform so that they can put their car on the dadgum platform, and people go to the platform and rent the car. God, that is genius. So I'm teaching people even now, because most of y'all know that we also, we teach the ILF model in real estate, but we just teach business, period. So a lot of the new people that are coming to us, I'm teaching them certain business models that are like Uber, that are like Turo, that are like Airbnb, because these business models, they simply are leveraging other people and other tools to make their dream come true. Miss Rita, how genius is that? That again, can you imagine the meeting? I keep saying this, but I just playing it through my mind. The day that the guy sat down and said, hey guys, let's start this company. No different from me. Let's start a housing company. I don't want no doctors in this place. I don't want nurses running around this place. I don't want a license. I want to serve people that are independent, that all they need from me is a roof over their head, for me to keep the lights and the water running, and no rats and roaches in the place. Because if you know my original story, because if y'all new to us, and I'll go by this real quick, I used to be a social worker, barely making $28,000 a year. And God showed me a lady, y'all, that was making $41,000 a month. housing people in rats and roaches. That's the part that broke my heart. Miss Peppers, I couldn't believe it. I'm in the middle of what I'm begging God to kind of get me involved in. I always want to help people. Janine, you know my story. I always want to be involved in real estate, but dummy me, Miss Peppers, I'm in this job for 9 years as a social worker, and everything I asked God for, he gave it to me. But dummy me, I'm blinded by the job. I said, God, I want to help people. He tricked my wife to make me go to college and get a degree in social work. I said, God, I want to be involved in real estate. Everybody that I know, God, that's well to do in life and that are rich and doing good in life, they're involved in real estate. Dummy me, again, I'm on the job watching somebody mistreat people through real estate. I saw a lady making $41,000 a month, Miss Tony, doing this same model I'm telling you today. So don't get it twisted and think I'm some genius. And I've thought of this whole model and I'm the guy. The devil is a liar. Somewhere in the Bible it says that nothing under the sun is new, right? Like I didn't create this model. Now we did create the independent living facility model and we put our spin on it, but essentially I saw somebody doing this the wrong way and I put my own spin on it. Most of y'all can think of a product right now that's in Walmart that is more than one product that's like that because somebody saw it and said, you know what, we can make this better. Prime example. Watch this, Miss Rita. Every ILF that I have, I don't believe in just buying a mop and a bucket. We use something that's called an O-Cedar mop system. It's a bucket, the mop, and you pump it to wring the mop out. It's a touchless mop system. Nobody wants to touch that dirty, soiled, sour mop. But you know how many versions of that mop is in the store and on Amazon? O-Cedar is kind of my favorite. Not even sure if they were the first ones. Put a number 2 in the chat if you know the mopping system I'm talking about. Somebody just put a 2 in the chat. You know how many versions of that it is? So that's the only thing that we did, guys. I saw a lady making $41,000 a month, Miss Tony, doing this. But she was housing people in rats and roaches. So when we show you guys in terms of what it looks like, just imagine again the picture that I'm always showing you guys in terms of, again, what it looks like. But imagine that with the rats and the roaches and with the beds. None of the beds had sheets, pillows, all of the normal stuff that a bed would normally have. When I'm talking about the sheets, the comforter, even the bed rails. What broke my heart so much about like this lady, like when I saw her do this, imagine this picture right here, right? See how beautiful that looks? That's our model. This lady had the same thing, y'all, but she had it doing it in rats and roaches. And then the mattresses, there were no sheets, no pillow case, no comforter, just a bare mattress on the floor, no bed rails. And as roaches are running in and out of the mattress, my heart just began to break because me, the social worker, I was sending people to this place. But if you know my original story, guys, I didn't know it. I was working behind a desk. I had a telephone and a sheet of paper with about 10 providers on it. And most people that do this, that's why it's so easy to get into it and outshine everybody, because a lot of people will get into this, Neonta, and do this the wrong way. We encourage people to get into this and do it the right way. These are God's people. Now, some of y'all, if you new to us, you done heard me say words like God and I'm saying spiritual things, and you think I'm a pastor or a priest or a bishop. I'm none of that stuff. But guys, we love God, we love people, and we love real estate. And that's a t-shirt now because I say it so much. We love God, we love people, and we love real estate. And also watch this. If you're new to us, this is something that we live by. No matter what we do, no matter what the business is, because God has blessed my wife and I, we own 8 different businesses, right? But the one that carries us is the housing model, the independent living facility, and the consulting business in which we teach it. But watch this. No matter what we do, and I hope one day you all take on this same thing for your life and your family. But everything that we do, I want to please God. I want to help people. I want to be respected by my community while I'm doing it. And I want to make a bunch of money to be able to build the kingdom of God and also have enough money to feed my family. Miss Tony, that's what I live by. No matter the business model, I want to please God. Because if I do that, everything else is just going to fall into place. I also want to help people. My mom often says, if you want to see the hand of God move, help his people. The Bible says the poor and the needy will always be among you. So this is not only just a business, guys, it's a ministry. The other thing that I want, Miss Tony, I want my community to like and respect me while I'm doing it. That's a prayer. No matter what I'm doing, can my community get behind this? Can I be the hero in my community when it comes to housing and real estate? I want to be that. And that last final piece, last but not least, I want to make a bunch of money. And I don't hide that. Some people scared to say that. Y'all, I want to make a bunch of money because the more money that we make, the further that we can push the kingdom, the gospel, and the more people we can help through real estate. Because guys, remember, I'm not a preacher that somebody's ever going to give a microphone to. Now, I got one on this stage, but this is my stage. Nobody's going to give me a microphone to go preach in some pulpit or at a church. But guess what my ministry is? The helping of people through real estate. That's what I do. So I want to give you guys a chance to be involved in what we do. You all may never hold a microphone. Some of y'all will. But guys, I'll be honest, I also don't desire that. I don't desire to run a church. But I do want a ministry where I'm helping people, I'm pleasing God, and I'm making enough money to feed my family. Because that's what it's all about, ultimately. And then the last thing I'm going to tell my new people is this. Imagine having a business to where the blessing of God was already built into it. I'm going to pause because I love to let that one sink in a little bit. Miss Angela, can you imagine having a business or a ministry or a job to where the blessing of God, meaning especially that financial blessing? So meaning like today, I don't pray for finances as much as I used to. Now, trust me, don't get it twisted. I pray that God bless me and overflow me every day. But the begging is, oh my God, bless me and my family. Bless me financially. I'll be honest. I'm in a ministry to where the money follows ministry. And because I'm doing God's will, his blessing is already attached to it. I didn't say that the poor and needy will always be among us. That's in the good book. We're not housing people because Derek thinks it's the next popular thing to do. We're housing people simply because it's always going to be among us, guys. And God said, take care of these people. In fact, there's somewhere in the Bible where it says that when you lend a hand to the least of thee, the marginalized, the poor, the homeless, God says, like you're doing a favor to me. Can y'all imagine doing God a favor? So again, if you're new to us, this is who we are. This is what we do. My name is Derek Forston. I approve this entire message. And again, if you've ever thought of having a group home, get that out your mind, because a group home requires a license. It requires for you to jump through red tape and jump through hula hoops and fire. But the only requirement for this shared housing model is a big heart for God, a love for people. And if you got some patience, you're going to make it in this. And if you happen to love real estate, God bless you. Because that's the icing on the cake. And I want to be able to teach it to you through Forston Consultants, me and my team. Let's take a quick break. I got to pay some bills and we'll be right back. Hey, what's going on, family? I super hope you guys are enjoying this information. But let's just say you want more one-on-one coaching, just like what you're receiving now. You're actually looking for our ILF Mastery Blueprint. So that's our hand-holding one-on-one coaching, where that's what most of the people that come to us, that's what they want. They don't want to just watch me on YouTube all the time, right? They want me in their back pocket for one-on-one coaching. And what's super powerful about it right now, that there's a scholarship that's actually available that brings that down to only $7,500, a long ways from the normal price of the 15 grand. So even doing this live right now, if you guys text IMB below, my team can send you over some information. But nevertheless, definitely go over and see forstonconsultants.com and check us out there as well. Let's get back to the show. All right, so let's do it. So again, thank y'all so much for being here. And again, if you're on Clubhouse or if you're on any other streamer device to where you can only hear me, definitely come on over to YouTube. Andrea, I see you on Clubhouse. Miss Brenda, I see you on Clubhouse. Come over to YouTube at Forston Consultants. We usually put the chat, the link in the chat, and I'm sorry, but Andrea, come on over to YouTube. Type in Forston Consultants. We're live right now. You'll be able to see all of the slides, as well as interact with everybody that's already in the group, and bring all of your questions. Miss Brenda and Andrea, join me over here on YouTube, because what I'm getting ready to talk about now is something that we keep getting questions about throughout the entire week. And it's about, Derek, how are you getting the people? I see you on TikTok. I see you on Instagram. and you guys are doing amazing work. But Derek, what is your funnel system? How are you getting the people in terms of getting them to move in? So I'm gonna get ready to bring up this slide. Y'all give me 2 seconds because I'm gonna hone in on this. We get a lot of questions on it, and I want to make sure that I nail it tonight. So let me go back. I want to go to this slide.
Hey,
Actually,
Derek.
right. Who is that? Is that
That's
Shay?
your wife. Yes, it is. Hey, sir, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to all of the people on Instagram. Just give them a shout out and tell them how they can even catch the replay of any of these live sessions that you do on Mondays and Tuesdays. Give them a shout out, D.
Absolutely. So big shout out to my folks on Instagram. You guys do have the ability to see the screen, so you guys maybe don't have to come to YouTube. YouTube's just my favorite. So again, big shout out to my people on Instagram. But if you do me a favor, I can see your questions on YouTube. I cannot see them on Instagram. Shay is not quite in studio tonight. So if you guys have any questions in terms of what you've heard so far, make sure you type it in the chat. I want to make sure that I answer all of your questions, right? And a big shout out to Miss Rita, Joanne, Janine, Miss Tony. A lot of you guys are being super interactive in the chat. But this is the part where I want to talk about how are we making this happen? Where did I go today? And I talk real fast, so I'm going to try to slow it down right here because I want you guys to get this because this isn't rocket science. Miss Tony, you heard me one time on a Sunday, but tonight you're going to get all of it. Guys, today I had a meeting at the VA. That don't stand for virtual assistant today. That stands for the Veterans Affairs. So that means that I drove to the building because my virtual assistant, Jess, because if you're new to us, you may not know this, but we use virtual assistants now basically for everything. 7 years ago, when God and I started this whole program of second chance housing and housing the homeless and the displaced, I didn't have no VAs. I didn't have a virtual assistant, but today I do. So Jess allows me to be the hero in my community. And the greatest part about these VAs, guys, they start at $5 an hour. So in terms of where they live at, that's a lot of money for them. But where we live at, that's very affordable. So essentially, God and I built second chance housing, but 12 months ago, I trained Jess to be me. Can you imagine that, Miss Tony? So every Tuesday, make sure that you guys join us because that's what we talk about every Tuesday, which is tomorrow. We talk about how you can start a business with a virtual assistant, how you can scale the business with a virtual assistant, how you can keep your job and let your virtual assistant run your whole business. How you think Shay and I own 7 other businesses beside this consulting business right here? It's because of people like Jess. So again, Jess is the one that is setting up the relationships with the social workers, the case managers, and the social service providers, because that's my funnel system, ladies and gentlemen. That's where I'm getting these people from. My Instagram folks, you guys ask all the time. This is where I'm doing this from. And lucky for me, I got an assistant named Jess that works for $5 an hour. That while I'm on here talking to you guys and out in the community trying to be the hero, Jess is finding these hospitals. Jess is calling them, setting up appointments. How do you think I got arranged to go to the VA today to interview a great client? And I want 15 more of the guys like I met today. I don't know what's going on, but I'm getting a lot of calls for like the amputees, double amputees, one amputee. Never experienced that, but that's happened a lot lately. So again, in the beginning, it was just me. Or now, even now that I'm teaching you all, let's just say you don't get that virtual assistant. I'm going to teach you guys through Forston Consultants and our coaching. How do I go to hospitals and invite myself or they invite me? And how do I present to them about what I have? How do I explain that I'm the best thing since sliced bread and that I want to build a relationship with them so that they only call me? Because guys, I'll be honest with you. When I go to these hospitals, I jokingly, but for real, Miss Joanne, I tell them, hey, now that you found me, you don't have to call anybody else. I'm your only resource because I'm also connected to hundreds of these ILFs. I just dropped a gem that I hope all of you guys catch, especially my ILF Master Blueprint people. So when I go and present places, guys, I try to walk in the door saying, hey, I'm the best thing since sliced bread, and you never have to call anybody else. Between me and my assistant, Miss Jess, you can call us 7 days a week, basically. For sure, 5 days a week from 9 to 5, because that's when Jess is available. But I'm also available just in case. But they're going to miss me at times. they're going to never miss Jess as long as it's from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, because that's her schedule. Substance abuse centers, social services, so your local Goodwill, your local Salvation Army, your local shelter. Guys, these are all places that I'm trying to go and let people know who I am and what I do. There's a whole skit out that's on our social media between David and Dennis. And if you guys haven't seen that, you need to check it out because they're telling you how to do that. If you haven't seen it, David is me. Dennis is also me. It's two personas that I kind of created. It's social media, right? And guess who's scrolling through their social media on their lunch break every day for 45 minutes? The social worker, the case manager. Lucky for me, the call that I got to visit the VA hospital, it was a social worker that I used to work with at a different hospital. We call that relationship. So because she used to call me from this specific hospital to help them with housing, now she's at the VA. Guess who that's better for now? Me. Because I never had a foot in the VA per se. Amen, Angela. Sometimes it's hard to get into the VA or certain hospitals if you don't have a contact or a connect. But how did they originally find me? Social media, TikTok, Instagram. So all of these things that I'm telling you guys, hey, Miss Tiffany, how's it going? This is how we're getting that to happen. And if I can send some links out today, I may pull up Tiffany. Looks like I may pull up Joanne as well, because I want to maybe know from you all and let some other people hear from people that we've taught this to.
I
Tiffany,
can help
what are
you
you
there.
doing to get people? Help me out with that, Shay. If you
I
can,
got
send a link to Miss Tiffany, send a link to Miss Joanne, because I want them to be able to hear from other people that we've taught this to. What are they doing to get people? Miss Angela Daniel would love to probably know, how are we doing this? And again, if you're new to us, you guys have the right to type in, text the word new to 407-326-0086. And we got a free gift that we want to give you. We also want to offer you the scholarship for our one-on-one coaching. That's also the same number, and that's actually scrolling at the bottom. But right now, back to the topic, mental health hospitals. This is where I worked at for 5 years, y'all. So when I tell you guys all the time that I worked at a hospital for 9 years before the light bulb came on, that's where that was, ladies and gentlemen, at a mental health hospital. So that when they're discharging people with nowhere to go, they need somebody to call, guys. And again, lucky for me, or blessed of me, because I've been praying real hard for a relationship where I used to work at. They're calling me now all of a sudden a lot. Just a couple of days ago, they called me for an emergency placement. Guess what the emergency placement was, guys? A gentleman that was sleeping in the garage that was full of tires, tire equipment, and batteries. Now, if that don't break your heart, you probably in the wrong room. You probably don't need to be connected to us. Because if you want to do what we're doing, and I just told you that somebody was sleeping in a garage at 102 degrees with tires and tire equipment, you're probably in the wrong room, because that's not what we do. And that guy was paying $850, Katara. Katara, can you believe that? That when my old boss called me and said, Derek, I got a good one for you today. You won't believe this. Derek, I got a guy, nicest guy ever, Derek, sleeping in the garage. And not only that, she kicked him out, dropped him off at the hospital, and drove off. In this business, what we do, they call that a dump. D-U-M-P. If you're a social worker, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That means that some housing provider got tired of this guy or whatever. Who knows what it was? Because he's a good guy to me. I housed him the same day. Sleeping in the garage. God, this is very similar to my original story that started this whole housing program. The lady that was housing people making 41 grand a month, housing people in rats and roaches. That's no different from this story to me. Living in the garage at 103 degrees with tires and batteries at $850 a month. This guy is now in one of my mansions in his private room. I hope you guys understand this, what I'm saying to you guys, and the opportunity that you all have. Remember from the beginning, in ILF is an independent living facility where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. Live and thrive. You don't have to cook. You don't need a sprinkler system, and you can rent the house. You can lease the house. You do not have to buy these properties, ladies and gentlemen. That's one of the things that most people think about, is that you have to buy the house. That's not true, guys. All of the houses, just about, that we have are rentals. God bless us a couple weeks ago, and we bought a house, right? It took 9 months to buy that house. Crazy long deal. We rehabbed it. Now it's ready to go. Shay is planning her open house for case managers and social workers. I think that's a part of what Tiffany did to bring about the popularity for her program in Oklahoma. Cupcakes, donuts, and coffee in an open house will make you the hero amongst all social workers. Believe me on that one. Leads from the flyers. That's another thing that some of you guys are just simply afraid to do. Sometimes maybe too lazy to do, or you don't think it works. If I pass out 500 flyers at 3 different Walmarts, 1 Publix, and 1 gym, guys, I only need 6 people to respond to that. Because it's a numbers game if you think about what we're doing, guys. If I pass out 6 flyers, Miss Angela, can you imagine that if I get 6 people to respond to that? Now I'm getting ready to bring Tiffany up, because Tiffany's in a different area and she was taught this by us. Because it's almost baloney to some of y'all to hear me say it. Let me bring up Tiffany. Miss Tiffany, good afternoon, good evening, all of that good stuff. How you doing today, sis?
Hey, everybody. I'm good. How are you guys doing today?
Doing really good. Thank you so much for joining us. You look all studious in your front
Praise
seat of your car.
Hey, y'all been out looking at houses today. I'm not gonna lie, we trying to buy some more houses, y'all. So y'all keep us in your prayers, because
Wow.
we've been out doing it. Me and Daddy been doing it today.
We absolutely will. So Tiffany, real quick, so that people don't get lost in the sauce. First of all, tell them where you're located, because I want people to know that you don't live near me. So where are you
No,
located, Tiffany, and what's the name of your program? And then we'll jump into some questions.
yes. So we are located in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And the name of our program is Good Samaritan Solutions.
Perfect. And Tiffany, how long ago did you learn this model from us here at Forston Consultants?
We have been with you guys, I would say probably since we started our first one in November of 2022, I think it was, is when we started it. And then we kind of found you guys in August of 2022. It came on board in September of 2022, and then we opened up our first ILF in November 16th of 2022. Our men's home
Got
was
it.
our first one.
Got it. So with all of the coaching and all of the teaching, can you help out some of our newer people, Tiffany, and tell them, how did you get the word going about who you are, who do you serve, and that you're available for this new housing model that you learned from us? Like, how did you get the word going about that?
Yeah, so basically I, like you coached us, we started talking about it even before we opened the house. I just started going out to events, was a huge thing for us at that time, because there were a ton of nonprofit type events, and every time somebody was having an event, we were trying to find out how we could have a booth or a table at the event. Then we also I carried around flyers in my car, like I had boxes of flyers in my front seat for a long
Exactly.
time. And everywhere I would go, I didn't care if I went through a drive-through window, if I picked my clothes up at the cleaners, like anything that I went through that I need, that I could just grab a flyer and pass it out to them, I would. I passed some out at the people, the panhandlers that sit on the side of the road, asking for money and stuff like that. I would give it to them, because believe it or not, some of them have income. They look
Right.
like they don't, but they do. And then we started just posting it everywhere we went. If we could put it in a newspaper ad, we would. Of course, on social media for sure, but we hit up laundromats. I went to every metropolitan library location in our entire system in Oklahoma County.
Mm,
And that's probably about 15 to 25 places that I went, and just literally stop, talk to people, and come to find out, a lot of the social workers come and set up shop at the libraries. Did not know that until I started going.
mm,
They set up shop there on certain days. So, if I went on a Tuesday and they said, "Oh, you just missed her. She'll be here Monday." I knew Monday of the next week where I was going to be that morning or that afternoon or whenever they were going to be there, so that I could talk to them face to face. went to the churches, started actually partnering even with some assisted living because everybody doesn't belong in an assisted living. So we actually would started going to them and dropping off information there as well. So anywhere, basically everywhere I went, I brought flyers with me. And if I was just standing in a store line talking to somebody, bam, I gave it to them. And I don't think I've ever even told you all this. I even have one of those digital backpacks that has
Oh
our name
wow.
and everything on them. And so I would wear that thing around, and I could be in the grocery store line and somebody, and I would just put affordable housing on it. Like, do you need affordable housing? Stop me or ask me or what have you or whatever. And they would do it. So we did just about anything that we could do in order to get people out, to get the word out to people.
I love
Did
it. And Tiffany,
Derek,
there's a question that came in that said, when you're doing that, Tiffany, what are you saying to these social workers when they do approach you? Because Tiffany, that's where a lot of people freeze up at. Like, Derek, what do I say though? So Tiffany, give the
Oh,
game a little bit on what are you saying?
Oh, absolutely. So basically, what I would do is I definitely would find out what services they were providing, like where they were, if they were providing food stamps, if they were providing, and then I would connect with them on that level. And I would just simply say, hey, I got tenants. We actually run an affordable housing program. I got tenants that need these services. Hey, do you think we could partner? And they would be like, partner? Well, if I'm the one providing the services, how we partner? I just said I'm going to provide the housing, and it would be, and not in a bad way, but they would be like, oh wow, okay, so you provide affordable housing, tell me more. And then we would just get into a conversation of how I would go into it with, hey, you can provide us with something that our clients need, and we can provide you with something your clients need. So it would just be a casual conversation of, hey, I provide affordable housing, do you actually have any clients that may be looking for affordable housing right now? And they would always come back with, girl, yes, we do. Like, tell me more about what you're doing. And it would blow their minds. And then the questions would just start. They just start rattling them off. And then before you know it, you're sitting in front of a room of 25 people explaining it to them, their supervisors, and all of their coworkers.
Wow, that's good stuff. Shay, you want to hop in? I think I heard Shay say something.
I was just floored by the digital backpack. I don't know if you
I
caught that
love it.
one.
I'm gonna
I
tell you,
love
you
it.
know how I got that from is his name Lewis, Australia? That
Lewis on
Lewis,
Clubhouse. Yep.
yeah, on Clubhouse. And it's so funny because the only reason that, because my dad was like, I can't believe you are gonna do that. You're so conservative. But when Derek was like, look, I put him in next to the lunch meat on the discounter in the Walmart or wherever, Publix or whatever. And I said, Tiffany, you can wear a backpack. Get that backpack. And so he was running a special, and I
If
got that
Derek can take him
backpack.
to the store and put him on the
Yes,
shelf, Tiffany said, I could put on the
yes.
backpack.
So me and my brother got on and designed our little. He helped me design it, and I would wear that backpack every time I would go into Walmart. I just looked at that backpack the other day. I need to get it back out and keep and put it back on.
I heard that. That is good stuff. Tiffany, I also want you to talk about another thing that I think was genius when you did it. I think Shay is getting ready to do one. But for anybody that's new, Tiffany, once you have a house and you're kind of making headway, what is your thoughts on having an open house?
Oh, it's ideal. I'm a realtor as well in the area, and we did open houses all the time. So I just kind of thought, why don't I do an open house here and just invite a lot of the case management and a lot of the people that I had already made connections with. So I just went to all the agencies and let them know, hey, we're having an open house. I want you guys to come and check it out, see what we are, see what we're about, ask questions, see how the house is, the layout. Like, I just wanted them to see how much had been put into the homes to make them the number one choice for them. You know what I mean? I wanted them to feel what the tenants were going to feel when they came to the homes. So I just basically went to all the DHS offices and, like I said, a ton of other agencies, and just invited, went to the VA hospital, went to all, basically I went to all of the hospitals in our area, and let them know about it as well. Invited everybody, and I'm telling you guys, for what, 3 hours, we had people coming and going that whole 3 hours. Coming in, we had hot, fresh apple fritters smelling, making the house smell real nice. We had a nice candle lit, not too overpowering, some nice hot coffee. Like, they just couldn't, some of them just sat down in the chairs and talked amongst each other for at least an hour or more, just about general stuff. And it was the greatest feeling ever to know that they felt comfortable enough to come over And they knew exactly what Good Samaritan stood for and what we were at
Yeah.
that time.
Good stuff. Now you said it, Tiffany, but I'm gonna ask one more question, right? Because I want people to hear it. Because I'm trying to hone it into relationship. How did
Uh-huh.
all of that you just talked about? How does that replicate relationship?
Oh,
Explain relationship out of all that you just talked about.
yeah, a relationship is everything because even though I wanted them to feel comfortable and know the house and all of that, I had to have that relationship with them. We had to go and sit down and have conversations with them and let them ask us questions, and uh, the relationships formed in a way that were kind of definitely organic. It was sort of a lot of them were formed just by, hey, could you come by, or we're going to come by an event and we're going to donate a case, 12 cases of water at your event. And they would be kind of like, oh, okay, and we just kind of basically wanted to feed into what they had going and showing how we could come and partner with them. Not, we weren't just on the take to get clients. We wanted to definitely have a relationship with them, knowing that we cared about what they were doing in the community and we wanted to come in and partner with them. And that's how the relationships started, because we provided value first.
I love it. I love it. So anybody that's brand new to us or you just came in, we're simply discussing how you start your own housing program. These are not group homes, right? These are also not assisted living facilities. Both of those require a license. Tiffany did not have to go in to get a license to do what she's doing right now, right? Tiffany is providing housing. He does not cook for these people. He does not provide transportation. And as far as I know, Tiffany is not a nurse. Now, she never told me, but as far as I know, Tiffany is not a medical provider. Tiffany, did you need a medical license to get started with this?
No, absolutely not. Never asked for one.
Tiffany, did you have to go and ask your neighborhood, could you do this?
Nope. Nope.
Did
Because
you have
I
to go
picked
and get permission from your government entities?
no, didn't have to do any of
Okay.
that.
Tiffany, can you tell me why? Like, why didn't you have to go ask for permission to do this, Tiffany?
Because I'm only providing housing. All of those other things is where your partnerships come in, and those would be your wraparound services. And those are the people that you partner to make sure that your clients or your tenants get those services so you don't have to.
So, Tiffany, are you housing people that need medication reminders?
No, not from me. They're not
Tiffany,
getting it from me.
okay, Tiffany, are you housing people that per se, let's just say they're not mentally stable? Can you house somebody, Tiffany, that's not mentally stable? They have a mental health problem and they're off medications. Can you
No,
help that person?
no, they have to be
Okay,
medication compliant. They have to
okay.
be.
And why is that? Why do they have to be medication compliant? What does that ensure you?
That
Like, why
ensures
do you
peace.
care?
That ensures peace in my home and for peace of mind for the other tenants that are there as well.
Okay. Now watch this, because somebody's thinking this, and Tiffany is the perfect person to show y'all both sides of it. Tiffany also owns real estate in a different way. Tiffany also houses the mom, the dad with the 3 kids and all of that. Tiffany,
Hmm.
what is the difference in your opinion, right? Because this has nothing to do with your coaching. I just
Hmm.
want people to hear you talk about it. What is the difference between your regular real estate where you and dad house a mom, dad, and 3 kids? And what's the difference between you running an ILF? Give me maybe some advantages of like what's like you really like about one or the other, and maybe Tiffany, just for kicks and giggles, give me a downside of one of them and I'll let you choose it.
I would say to be with our traditional rentals is what I call them, where we rent to the family, the mom, the dad, the kids. A lot of investors will basically sign a 12, 18, 24 month lease and then you don't see them anymore. Well, that's not the way we run our program. They still are seeing us. We're going in because I feel like if I'm coming in at least every other month or so, at least I'm checking the house out, checking to see if we got water leaks. And there are easy ways to get into a home. It makes people feel comfortable, like you're looking out for them as well. So we don't just, so in a way, the ILF is sort of just like that because we're still going in. We go in more than just every other month. Of course, we're going there weekly, but we're still going in and monitoring our homes. And the difference in that would be that we're not only monitoring our homes with the ILFs, we're also monitoring the individuals that are living there. Whereas a mom, a single, a mom, a dad, a family, we're not trying to check to see if they got beer in the refrigerator or if they are, doing other stuff, like we
Yeah,
don't have to do that. So that's kind of a difference in it. And it really, like I said, we pretty much manage them the same way. But as far as a disadvantage, it would be um sometimes the turnover would be the disadvantage of it, because people come, they may stay 30 days, they may stay 3 weeks, they may stay 3 days. It just never, you never really know. From time to time, you do your best to try to get a tenant that's going to come in and work out, but it doesn't always, it's not always like that. And then, you do with the ILF, you are able to get a little more connected to them, have a little bit more of an emotion in the play, when they are actually an ILF. So you have to be careful with that. But I would say that that could be a good thing or a bad thing. It kind of just depends on how you run it. But we pretty much, because we're a little different, we pretty much run them about the same way. We have the same, oversight. We
right.
go in and look at the homes, that kind of stuff. So I really can't think of a just a terrible advantage, because we don't give them an opportunity to do anything. You know what I'm saying? That we would have to come in and have to fix up our houses and that kind of stuff. We don't do that. So
Got it.
I hope
I
that answers
I
it.
I love it because what you're doing, Tiffany, is you're showing people how the coaching works. Guys, notice I'm asking a lot of questions that you all want to know. In fact, Miss let me see, who was it? Somebody said that's exactly what I wanted to know. So, guys, notice I'm allowing Tiffany to answer these questions. Tiffany was just like you, just here 2 years ago. She didn't know me, she didn't know this model, but she came in the room just like a lot of you all are listening. But she did what we would call moving at the speed of instruction. So Tiffany is somebody that when she hears it, if it sounds good and she feel like God is involved in it, she's going to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's also not foreign to being involved in real estate. That's what makes it a little bit different from Tiffany, from the regular Joe that would just come see me and he's never done a real estate transaction. Tiffany's involved in real estate. It's been in her family for years. Her dad's involved in it, her entire family. She's a realtor. So Tiffany's not foreign to the concept of real estate. But Tiffany,
Mm-hmm.
what was your thoughts that when we introduced to you that let's not house just a mom, dad, and 3 kids with one income? How can we
Mm-hmm.
get a 4-bed, 2-bath house and Tiffany can help 8 people now? Tiffany, talk about
Mm-hmm.
that. What was your thoughts on that when you first learned that? Like, wow, Derek said I can get one asset, one
Mm-hmm.
house, but rent to multiple people. What was your thoughts on that when
Yeah,
you first heard that?
it was definitely an answered prayer, because I had actually, when I bought the last two houses that we have for our men's and women's house, we were thinking of trying to house individuals with special needs, because my little brother is special needs. And that was kind of the path we were going down, because I wanted to provide them with some good, secure housing. And it was just a lot of red tape, a rabbit hole after rabbit hole. And I was like, oh my gosh, it can't be this hard. But on the flip side, it's business. And so I had two houses that were empty and I needed to do something with them. And so we were thinking about doing an Airbnb, and that just never set right. We prayed about it. It never set right with me. Like I never got that comforting feeling. And then one day don't know how I got on Clubhouse, don't know how I got into the room I got in, heard you. And I was like, is this dude for real? Like, and I told my dad about it. And he was like, oh, I don't know, Renee. And I was like, okay. And so we really didn't look into you. Probably, I'd say maybe I let it maybe about a week go by. And then I was like, oh, I forgot. I got to look up that dude. When I you looked up a website and got all the information and started listening to past rooms, I was like, nope, this is it. I prayed about it that night and I felt that comfort the next morning. I said, that's it. I'm getting on the phone. And then we had I set up a strategy call the next, I think that not the next day, but the day after that. And after that, I was like, this is it. This is where I need to be. Because I knew it. I
Yeah,
knew that was what
that's
God
good.
was
Good stuff.
saving these
Tiffany, I want to,
houses.
yeah, absolutely. And Tiffany, you literally just almost said something that a young lady just put in the chat. She's got this house and is wondering, what do I do with it? What is the next step? Her first step, she's doing it now, is tuning into us every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern. But watch this, y'all, because again, I'm doing this on purpose. I'm allowing Tiffany to coach y'all because again, this isn't rocket science once you got it. Tiffany, here's another question that people are always wondering, and it just came in. Tiffany, is there a certain age limit that you require to live in your home? And if so, what is it?
No, we really don't require an age. No, they need to be a good fit. But as long as we really would prefer they be 21 and older. But if it was an 18-year-old that needed something like somebody aging out of the foster care or something like that, and we thought that they were going to be a good fit for the home, we would. But we have a gentleman that's in his 80s staying with us. We have a lady that's in her 70s staying with
Mm,
us. So it can go as high, or nothing under 18, but we prefer they be 21. But that's kind of where our sweets are. I'm gonna tell you, our sweet spot are those senior citizens, like,
I
and
love
then
it.
and down to
Love it.
about maybe 45ish. 45ish is still a good age or whatever, for the right person, but that's kind of where our sweet spot is.
Okay. And Tiffany, how long can they stay? Is there a time frame on how long a tenant can live in your place?
No, there's no time limit. We would prefer that this be, or we would hope that this would be just a transition, a stepping stone for them, where they could kind of stay, get, kind of leave the past in the past, kind of get some new footing, get themselves back on their feet, and be able to transition into their own place. But if not, they can stay with us. We are happy as long as they are following the rules and doing what they're supposed to do. They can stay as long as they'd like.
I love it. Guys, again, man, I hope you guys are getting a lot out of this because as you can see, I've been asking Tiffany questions and she learned this from us 2 years ago. And did you hear what she said when she first got on? She's out looking for more real estate. So
Hmm.
you guys will find out real fast when you get into this, the only problem that you're going to run into, other than dealing with people, trust me, because people can just be a trip. But
Yes.
other than dealing with people, right? Your only problem in this ministry should be there. I can't find real estate fast enough because of what the need is. So again, I got to pay a couple bills, guys. We'll be right back. And again, thank you so much, Tiffany, for allowing me to grill you like this. We'll be right back. Hey, what's going on, family? Just to let you know really quick, everything that you're listening to right now, I actually have it in a more structured way in a webinar. So when you guys get done here, go to forstonconsultants.com, click the tab that says webinars, and there's 2 webinars there. One is for you to be the actual ILF operator, meaning that you want to do it. And then the other one is the HRA. That stands for Housing Referral Agency, where you're able to take people from homeless to hopeful, and you actually don't need the real estate. It stands for Housing Referral Agency, and we call it a business in a box. But definitely go to forstonconsultants.com, watch both of those webinars, then set up a free strategy call with me and my team, and let's see how we can get you started. Back to the show. All right, so we're going to jump back over here, and I'm going to grill Tiffany a little bit more if she's still here. But I want to jump back over right here to this slide where I was telling people, how do we get our phones to ring? Well, when I first got in contact with Tiffany, and some of the first things that we jumped right into because she already had property is because Tiffany's question was that, Derek, this all sounds great, bro, but where I'm going to get these people from, Derek? Hospitals, substance abuse units, social service places, mental health hospitals. And I'm gonna pass out 1,000 flyers all the time. So I keep a stack of flyers in my truck with me. So guys, as I'm going to hospitals or just going to the store to get gas, I'm dropping them all by the gas pump. I got tape in my truck. I tape it to stuff because, like, guys, you just never know. Just a few weeks ago, probably about a month ago now, I posted on my Instagram page of a gentleman, a military veteran, was in Walmart shopping, saw my flyer by the eggs in the dairy department. Did y'all hear what Tiffany told you earlier? Everywhere. This gentleman called me. We drove to Walmart and assessed him in the parking lot. That's what's so powerful about this ministry, y'all, because when you own your own business, you don't have to have an office to interview people. Guys, I interviewed this guy in the parking lot of Walmart and moved him in the next day. If you don't believe me, it's on my Instagram and Facebook page and YouTube. And if you look real closely to his, I think it was his left hand, he's got that debit card that all of these people get that have the mental illness, that get that Social Security income. It's called Direct Express. He had the debit card in his pocket and a wad of money ready to move in somewhere, but didn't know that we were a possible option until he saw the flyer by the eggs and the milk in Walmart. So if you're just joining us, guys, I'm not afraid or ashamed to put my flyer everywhere. Even when I go to the airport and I'm boarded for a plane, Tiffany, I'm putting them in all of the back seats of the plane as I'm deplaning. I put them in the corridor area. I drop them on the floor. I hand them to people. No matter the business, guys, I tell y'all this all the time. No matter if you bake chocolate chip cookies or if you fry chicken and set it out your back window, or if you're a consultant or you house the homeless. If people don't know about it, how do they know to patronize your business? So you got to let people know what you're doing. And right here again, guys, it's just, again, it's just all about that networking. Guys, and I'll admit, we didn't do such a great job of this last year, but boy, are we amping it up this year. Tiffany, I've been telling a lot of people that if, for a lot of you guys that know me now, and I'll say probably for the last probably 2 years, for the last probably 1.5 to 2 years, we put a lot into the coaching platform. Me speaking all over the place, going everywhere. So we got this thing called a diamond package where I gave all of my ILFs away just about. I kept a few of them. Guys, now that's all reversing now. I'm getting a lot of my houses back. I just bought a house. We just took over 2 rentals. And my old landlord, Tiffany, from the cul-de-sac, he's got 3 vacancies, 3 vacant houses. Because remember, we're buying property now, Tiffany, so we're leaving that cul-de-sac. Guess who's begging for us to come back, Tiffany, and gonna drop the price $300 on the rent? When normally, Tiffany, rent never goes down. Rent goes up. But when it's $2,100, Tiffany, and I know it and nobody's in it, and you got 3 vacant, and I'm about to leave your other one because we just bought one, you don't want 4 vacancies, Tiffany. So he's begging us to come back and dropping the rental price. Lord have mercy. So guess he's probably finna get another rental. I don't want to rent a place, Tiffany, but it's hard to say no to that when we're already in one of them and the other ones are next door to each other. So if you're new to us, you may not know this, but we have a cul-de-sac where I started my rentals at. And guys, as we're buying property now, we're leaving the cul-de-sac. But now, I may be going back. But all of this, what you see on the screen, guys, is what most people will pay a lot of money just to find out. You want to join your local COC? That stands for Continuum of Care. Continuum of Care. That's just a big word to say that those are the people that are in charge of the mental health dollars probably in your area, and they control where that money goes. So when you hear me talk about mailbox money or a hospital paid for a client of mine, that means that the hospital got a grant that when the social worker called me for Brad don't have no money to pay me. Brad don't got a job. Brad don't got SSI, SSDI, but he's met certain criteria through the hospital where the grant is going to cover it. So I'm housing people this week, ladies and gentlemen, that don't have no money to pay rent, but the hospital holds a grant and they're going to pay me. Connect with your local homeless shelter. Every one of you guys need to do that because there's a program called Rapid Rehousing. I'm dropping the game on y'all tonight. Every local shelter, no matter where you live at, I don't care if it's in California or Florida, usually through your local shelter, there's a program, and a lot of the programs are called Rapid Rehousing. They connect with people just like us, y'all, because they're looking for housing programs and people to house these folks. Another one that I tell people all the time is signing up for those Facebook groups. There's tons of Facebook groups that are leaning towards case management, social workers, and social service providers. Those are all the people that I want to see what these houses look like. That's why if you go on my social media, you'll see things like, hey, open house. If you're a case manager or a social worker, give us a call. We provide housing. And for the lady that just joined us as a Derek, what do they look like again? One more time, a regular single family home. It could be a duplex. It could be a quadplex. Now, what I desire that if it's a duplex, I hope that you own both sides of it. I wouldn't really want Tiffany to go and rent a duplex. Some old nice lady lives on the left, and then Tiffany go put her guy on the right or her 2 guys on the right. I really don't want to share a wall with nobody if I can help it because I don't know what I have in the beginning from this client. Now, if Tiffany know that this is a great guy, or let's just say Tiffany moves her best guy. Tiffany go buy the duplex tomorrow. She got 2 of the greatest guys already that's in one of her places. She said, Derek, I know you don't really want me sharing walls, but Walter and Jeremiah, they're just the greatest guys ever. I'm going to move them, Derek, to the duplex because we are sharing that wall with that old lady. No problem, Tiffany. But if Tiffany moves a guy in from day one and she just met him, I'm going to say no to that. Tiffany don't know this guy. We don't know what we're dealing with yet. So I don't want y'all sharing walls with nobody. So the duplex is out. The townhouse is out. The people said, well, Derek, can I get a townhouse? No. Can you get a condo? No. Can you get an apartment? No. I don't want you sharing the wall with anybody if we can help it. I want you to get a single family home. And the smallest ILF to date, guys, is a 1 bed, 1 bath. We talked this to a guy in Lake Worth, Florida, 1 bed, 1 bath. I show this picture all the time, right? Because it's a mobile home. Derek, can I do this in a mobile home? Absolutely. As long as the inside looks very nice, like some of these pictures that you're seeing. I don't care about the outside. We're just not going to have a leaking roof. We're not going to have rats and roaches. And one thing about the population that we serve, y'all, guess what? Sometimes they're going to bring rats and roaches. The only difference between us and them is that we're going to do something about it. We're going to get pest control. We're going to call the guy to come trap the rats. They may come, guys. I'm having guys that are coming from the woods, from the jungle, kind of like from outside for years. He may have roaches in his book bag. But the lady that I saw doing it, she said, I don't care about no roaches and no rats. If they sleep in my place or they sleep outside. That's the wrong attitude, ladies and gentlemen. So if that's your attitude, like, this isn't for you. We tell people all the time, if that's your attitude, this is not for you. So one more time for anybody that just joined us, if you've ever thought about starting a group home, don't. If you ever thought about starting an assisted living facility, consider an ILF first, because it doesn't require a license and you don't have to own the property. So everything that I pretty much have showed you guys today in terms of the properties, guys, I don't own any of those. But if you follow my TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, you'll see that we did just buy a house. So that's the goal, y'all. Start out by renting or leasing. Then eventually you can buy a place, right? Because, guys, I used to be a poor social worker, barely making 28 grand a year. How in the world could I buy a house? But the moment that I found out that I could rent one of these places to do this, oh, game over. I'm finna get in this tomorrow. But if you know my story, it took 2 years and I lost 60 pounds trying to figure it out because nobody would teach it. So we went through the bumps and the bruises and the lawsuits. We did this every wrong way that you guys can imagine until we got it right. But lucky for you all, that scripture in the Bible that says, write the vision and make it plain so that he that readeth it, that means, Derek, go through the bumps and the bruises, Derek, so that when other people try to do it, they don't have the problems that you did. That's my whole consulting model, guys. God has allowed us to go through all the bumps and the bruises of things so that you guys don't have to. That $30,000 lawsuit that I went through, the devil is a liar. You guys won't go through that. Not under my coaching, you better not. Because my job is to teach you what not to do. There's a lot of what to do in this ministry, but probably my biggest job is what not to do, what not to say, how not to do this thing. And again, our one-on-one coaching is called our ILF Mastery Blueprint. And again, there's a scholarship that you guys can apply for, and I would love to coach you to success. My biggest compliment is that when people quit their job to do what this is, right? Because I quit my job. So I say, God, you are no respecter of people or persons. If you allow me to leave my job or resign, actually not quit, God, I want that for other people. There's a lot of you that are watching this right now and you don't really like your job. Imagine having a job or a ministry or a business like this to where the blessing of God was already built into it. And it doesn't take 8 hours to do it. It don't take a 12-hour shift, my nurses, to do it. Let's pay some bills and we'll be right back. Hey, what's going on, family? I hope you guys are enjoying the content, but I just want to let you know there's still time to apply for the scholarship for the ILF Mastery Blueprint, and that's our one-on-one coaching. So there's a lot that comes with it. So I'm just going to guide you guys to the website so that you can kind of check it out for yourself after we're done here. So you're going to visit forstonconsultants.com. Then you're going to click the tab that says products and services. The first thing that's going to pop up is the ILF Mastery Blueprint. Click that tab that says learn more, and it's literally going to give you step-by-step instruction of what you can do. And it's real easy of how you can apply and win the scholarship to apply to the price so that you can get our one-on-one coaching here at Forston Consultants. Let's get back to the content. All right, so let's answer some questions because I love questions. Now is a great time. If you guys got any questions or concerns about what I've talked about tonight, and again, quick recap. This is starting your own housing program with no license. You don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be a nurse. There is no sprinkler systems involved in it. You don't have to take no special class, right? The only requirement for this is a big heart for people, a love for God, and a love for real estate. So no license like your traditional group home or your ALF. So I'm gonna start answering some questions. Let's see, Nove. I'm probably saying that wrong. Let me know in the chat. Thank you so much for being. She says great information. Thank you so much. Also type in the chat, everybody, what city and state that you're from, or what city and state that you will launch your first independent living facility in, right? Let's speak in faith right now. So let's go ahead and type in the chat. I'll be first, Orlando, Florida. And also I'll do Warner Robins, Georgia. And I love the Ohio area, so I'm also going to put Ohio, and that include Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati. So let's knock out a few of these questions. So Nove says, so if I have a vacant home, what would be the first steps I need to take? I have 3 rooms and a studio available that I need to rent before the end of the month. So you're running out of time, Nove, first of all. So congratulations for running into us. God bless you. So your first step is literally watching the webinar that's free. My assistant Alex will put that in the chat. Your first step is watching our webinar. And then the next step is soaking up a lot of the YouTube information, right? A lot of the lives, the reels. But then the third step is probably most important. Set up a free strategy call. I want to speak to you because once you've heard tonight and you've seen some of the Instagram and the Facebook and the YouTube stuff, and by the time you see that webinar, you should know if this is something that you want to do or not. And then I want to speak to you to find out how can we get you, how can we get you started? So those are the steps, because again, if you already have the place, I'm gonna say congratulations, because most of the hurdle to this ministry is actually getting the real estate to put them in. So that's why we teach people every Saturday at 10 a.m. how to do this, and you never need property. You never need real estate. We teach you how to use relationship and become a housing referral agency. But if you have a house, you're probably 50% further than most people I'll ever teach this to. So congratulations right there, first of all. And again, your first step is hanging around us. Let's get on the phone call. And if you're real serious, you'll take our one-on-one coaching. That's the ILF Mastery Blueprint, and everything's involved in that. So just to give you an idea of what's involved in the ILF Mastery Blueprint is one-on-one coaching. I don't give you 55 videos and tell you good luck. I hope you make it. It's a one-on-one coaching, right? We meet for several weeks back to back to back. And then after that, you have my personal phone number, and you can pretty much just call me at your leisure, right? And then there'll be times where we'll also be checking in on you. You also get my accountant, and that's new. We used to never offer that. That's a new service. We give you my accountant up to 3 months. We also gift you and give you a free virtual assistant. So remember I told you 7 years ago, God and I built this whole program, but 12 months ago, I gave it to Jess. So Jess is my assistant. She's my personal assistant, business assistant. She's my schedule manager, and she's the program manager at Second Chance Housing. So remember, join us tomorrow where I break down how we use these VAs and how the cheat code to life is having an assistant, an executive assistant on your team for $5 an hour. That's the cheat code to life and business. But again, back to that original point, that's your first step.
Don't forget about a website.
Oh, yeah. And also we build your website. I mean, guys, there's so much involved in an ILF Master Blueprint. Like, I'll forget stuff. So what I want you to do is definitely go and visit. No, in fact, I think there's an automation that we have. So once for the scholarship, I want Alex to put that one in the chat, but also forstonconsultants.com/IMB. So again, forstonconsultants.com/IMB. That stands for ILF Mastery Blueprint. The original cost is 15 grand, but with the scholarship, it knocks it down to 7,500. So you definitely want to make sure that you text the word scholarship to 407-326-0086. And that's how you'll get that information. But also every Monday at 6 p.m., we give this game away for free. So if you say, well, Derek, I don't have no money, but I want to learn it, join me every Monday at 6 p.m. and bring all your questions. Because one thing I promised God many years ago, I said, God, if you make this work for me, God, if you allow me to quit my job, I'll go all over the world teaching it, and I'll take no credit. Now, God, I am going to start a business. I am going to consult people. But when I first got into this, y'all, I was so excited of what it did for my life and my family and my life and other people. I couldn't wait to teach it to folks. So I got so busy of just giving it away for free, it turned into a consulting business. But I made a promise to God that I'll give it away for free as long as he give it to me. And I jokingly tell people, who am I to give God some ultimatum? God, if you do this for me, I'll do this. God is just so gracious, y'all. He's so nice and so kind. I said, God, I want to get in this. God, I want to help people. I want to be involved in real estate. And again, God showed me later that was making 41 grand a month doing this, y'all. But she was mistreating people in rats and roaches, housing people in squalor. So I said, God, if you let me get in, and not only will I treat these people the right way and house it the right way, God, I'll teach it to other people so that we can extend your ministry, God, because one me is great, but what if I teach it to 1,000 people? That God likes that kind of stuff, y'all. God also loves partnership. God loves that when you pray to him, that it ain't all about you. See, when I pray for this thing, it wasn't about me. God help me. God changed my family. God, I'm seeing a lot of people being mistreated through this housing program thing, and I want to get in it, God. God, I want to help your people. See how that prayer sounds now? So God has really no right or no other choice but to honor and respect that. Because God, these are your people, God. And this lady housing your people, God, and rats and roaches. God, can you let me get in it? Because I'll change it. And that's what I told him. So now, every Monday, 6 p.m., whether you guys pay me a dime or not, I don't pass an offering plate. And trust me, a lot of people take our coaching. So I don't beg for it. But my job in terms of what I told God, I said, God, if you let me get in it and it worked for me, I'll go all over the world teaching it and I'll take no credit. So a lot of times when you guys hear me say, well, man, I'm no genius and I take no credit, guys, I really mean that. I was a poor social worker. I barely finished high school. My wife, Shay, tricked me to go to college, y'all. Through the grace of God, I finished that. And that's what landed the job. And then the job showed me the vision. Because once I got on the job and I saw that the lady was housing these people, and I'm the social worker that was sending all of the clients, God was like, Derek, you should be the guy on the other side of the fence, housing these people versus working a 9-to-5 job, barely making ends meet. Okay. So again, first step, watch that webinar. Let's get on a phone call and sign up for that scholarship and let's get you started. Next question for Nove says, how do you charge room rates? So where I live at, Miss, and trust me, if I'm saying your name wrong, ma'am, please correct me because I hate to do that. But it's Novae. So we charge, now watch this. It's different everywhere you go. So where I live at and where Joanne lives at and where Tiffany lives at and where Katara lives at, it's different. So in my housing program, in any of these houses right here, my fee is usually $680 per bed. So when somebody moves to second chance housing, and it can look like any of these houses that you're seeing right now, it could be a big house, small house, a 3-2, a 1-2, right? I can house women, I can house men, I can do co-ed, but I'm going to charge anywhere for any of these houses $680 per bed. We also got a private model that may be $880 per bed. And then the private suite may be $940 per bed. The suite means they have their own bathroom. This is a shared living environment, what you see right now. That's $680 times 2 for that room. If you get it and you understand, put a number 7 in the chat just to let me know that I nailed it. But that's what but where Miss Joanne lives at in Racine, Wisconsin, her prices are different. Where Miss Neonta lives at in Miami Gardens, her prices are different. Where Tiffany lives at in Oklahoma, her prices are different from mine. Katara's in South Carolina, her prices are different from mine. So our coaching teaches you how to price it according to where you live at. So Nove, do me a favor, put in the chat where you live at, where you're going to launch this first independent living facility at. But again, through Forston Consultants and our training and teaching, we're going to teach you how to price it. In fact, I'm giving myself a raise here very soon. I found out, y'all, let me say this real light and low. I found out that one of the hospitals that I kind of work with, I've been charging $680 this whole time. Their threshold is $850. How did I find out? Case manager told me. So guess who's changing their rent? Me. Okay? Because remember, the client is not paying it from this particular case manager. They pay their client's rent. So I'm no longer charging $680 with this hospital. I'm $850 now. That's a gem. So if you're an ILF Mastery Blueprint member, I'll break that down, how we do that, how you word it, how do you send it, how do you communicate that, what's too much, what's too big of a jump, what's too small. And how do you find out what they can afford to pay you? My ILF Mastery Blueprint member people, we'll do that in a private group. Okay, so that's the question about the room rates. Next question was, and thank you for the questions. We love questions. Do you need to have them sign a contract, lease term? Absolutely. So the biggest part about what we do, Miss Nove, we give you all the paperwork that you need to start this ministry. So your lease, your handbook, release of liability, all of the paperwork that you need to start this, we give it to you in a Word document. So that when you get it, your paperwork don't say Second Chance Housing. That's my program. You're going to delete it or you're going to type in your new name. Journey to Journey Living. Journey New Solutions. Pathway Solutions. Second Chance Enterprise. Whatever your name is going to be. Okay. Next question is, and Ms. Nove, if I'm getting these right or if I'm answering your question, let me know. If I'm missing it, also let me know. Okay. She said, yes, you said it right. Oh, she's in Florida. Good stuff. So what part of Florida, Miss Nove? She said she's in Florida. Janine's in Hayward, California. Oakland, California. Qatar right here is in South Carolina. Janine's also in Oakland, California. Qatar's in Columbia, South Carolina. We got some Maryland folks in here. Orlando, Brevard. We got Anise Fox from Oregon. What's going on, Miss Anise? Anise spoke just the other day. She's an ILF Mastery Blueprint member as well. Anise can call me every day, y'all. The difference between you guys and Anise Fox and Katara, right? They can call me every day. If Katara wanted to call me right now while I'm live, she can. I'm going to say, Katara, you don't see I'm live on this YouTube, girl. But other than that's the advantage of an ILF Mastery Blueprint member. You guys don't have to wait till we have a live or a phone call. You guys have wide open access. And I think I hit all of the questions. So again, man, if you guys just joined us, we're showing people how to start their own housing program without a license. You don't need a license, guys. And guess why? The reason why I don't need a license is because I'm not providing transportation. That's what get people in trouble. You driving these people around. I'm not administering medications. I'm not a nurse, y'all. I'm not a CNA. I'm also not a RN. I'm also not a, what's the other one, y'all? CNA, RN, and what's the other one? LPN. I'm none of that stuff. Now, years ago, I did take a class to administer meds, but that's probably expired and gone. I'm housing an individual, Nove, that doesn't need my help. He want me to keep a roof over his head and keep the water and lights on. Nove says Central Florida, me too. So we're neighbors already. You should feel comfortable already. We're neighbors. I'm in Orlando, so if you're in Central, you're probably somewhere around me, right? So Nove, congratulations, your family already. We look forward to coaching you. And what I tell people is this, right? No matter where you live at, the coaching works in all 50 states. Tiffany lives in Oklahoma. And I've actually met Tiffany more than once, right? She's been to a master class and she's a part of a lot of what we do. But I always tell people when you're in close proximity of where I live at, ding, 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 you had a little bit more of an advantage than most people I ever teach. Carly Sales, she's also an ILF Mastery Blueprint member. We go to church with Carly, actually. What's going on, Carly? Oh, in fact, big shout out to Carly and her husband for Moses Homes. They have their second facility now. Congratulations. If I can get about 7 of you IMB people to congratulate Carly and Maurice, they have their second facility. I do believe in, oh, I'm going to mess it up. What city is it, Carly? Put it in the chat. Big shout out to Moses Homes too. Type Moses Homes in the chat, Carly. Let people know where you guys are located. But they're also somebody that years ago bought what we would call our diamond package. Maurice wanted it fast. He said, Derek, I don't want to go find no house. I don't want to find the people. Derek, do all of that for me. That's what they did. So we got them a house that looked something like this. And I think the day we gave it to you guys, I think it had 7 clients in it, or 8 or 9. Was it 7? She'll remind me. That's our diamond package. Gave them the house, gave them the clients, but they run the business. They got the coaching. But now they got house number 2. And hopefully maybe house number 3 coming up, because that cul-de-sac that I told you about, Maurice, 3 of them are available now, Maurice, and the guy begging us to come back. So maybe you get one of those, Maurice. Never know. Okay. And Rita, they're in Leesburg just like you. Tavares, Leesburg, that other little area. In fact, Angela and I are going to Angela. Where are we going tomorrow? Big shout out to Angela Brooks.
We're going to Claremont. We'll be in Claremont tomorrow, I
We'll
think.
be in Claremont tomorrow,
Yeah.
presenting before about 20 case managers. Like, how crazy is that? And I'll admit, I take no credit for that. Angela Brooks is an amazing HRA, housing referral agency, and she's setting up all of these appointments for all these social workers and case managers for us to show up to brag about how great we are when it comes to housing. Thank you, Angela.
Hey, Derek.
Angela can teach you guys like literally how that works, because again, she's also an ILF Mastery Blueprint member, but she's really driving an HRA home. Shay, jump in.
So I don't know if I shared with you, but while I was before we started, Angela actually sent me a text message, just praising the Lord about another meeting that's coming up. She said she got called back to that one location that she went to a few weeks ago, and they want her to present in front of. Hold on, let me see what she said. She has to present in front of 10 more the case management team. Yeah, they want to know more about the Clarissa project. They want her to come and speak to the case management team.
Love it.
Yep.
I love it. Congratulations, man. I love it. Type it in the chat. Type the Clarissa project in the chat. Let people know what it is, what you're doing. I don't see Moses Homes in the chat yet. I want to shout Moses Homes out. Oh, no, I do. So big shout out to Moses Homes that's covering the Tavares area. What's that other area, Carly, that you guys are by? Leesburg, Tavares, but there's another area that is slipping me right now. Mount Dora, I think it is, right? Is it?
Are they close to Mount Dora?
She'll tell me in a minute. What's that other area? I'm trying to remember. Tavares, because it's all around in that area. Leesburg. I thought it was one more little
I don't think it's
city.
Mount Dora. Is it Mount Dora? Yeah, it is Mount Dora. Jeez, Mount Dora runs pretty far.
Yeah, Mount Dora. Yeah, so Mount Dora's actually not far from us, Shay, coming from Eustis. That's it, Carly. Come on, that's it.
That sounds like Mount Dora's not far from us.
That's the one. Eustis. So I'm praying that Carly and Maurice are also able to get a property in Eustis, Tavares, and Leesburg. So good stuff, man. Just great stuff. Angela, again, thank you so much for all that you're doing. And again, guys, if you've never heard of our HRA, we also have a webinar that's only like 14 minutes long, guys, that explains what the HRA is. And guys, the HRA really means that you can house the homeless and the displaced and never need property. You only need relationship. So just to give you an example, right? Angela yet doesn't have a house. She will. But right now she's been in housing referral agency. She's got several meetings planned all this week to present before social workers and case managers, telling them that she's a housing provider. But guess who she's leveraging with that? Us and other people that have housing. Remember, the HRA teaches you how to house the homeless, but you never need the real estate. You don't have to buy it, don't have to rent it, but you got to know somebody that has it already. Angela knows us. Angela knows other people. Angela knows Maurice. Angela knows Carly. Angela knows Miss Rita. Angela knows Mr. Kenneth. All of these people live in the area where Angela does. All of them will benefit from Angela setting up all of these meetings. Essentially, what my VA does for me, Jess. That's why every day this week between Jess and Angela, I'm going to be at somebody's hospital running my big mouth about how great we are and how we take people from homeless to hopeful in a shared living environment. Just like that. And if you missed Angela 2 Saturdays ago, she taught this live with us because my internet connection wasn't working. Angela taught y'all how she was doing this. So if you've ever missed, right? I think I just saw somebody say a popka.
You did. Popka? And she also asked if there's several questions.
We're real neighbors then.
Derek, there's several questions from Miss.
I knocked a few of them out, but if you see one that I didn't get, let's throw it up. But I knocked a few of them out.
about going to, do we take any of our uh, our family members with us to these meetings with case management? There we
Family
go.
members?
Yeah.
Can we attend the case manager meeting? Oh, so if you're talking about like in terms of like the coaching, prime example, a lot of the meetings that I'm going to this week, I'm bringing some of the I Love Mastery Blueprint people with me to experience it. So if you're being taught by us, if you're being consulted by us, you absolutely will go to a hospital with me. That's what Angela and I are doing tomorrow. Angela is just so great that she set this up, not me or Jess. So to answer your question, Nove, absolutely. If you're being trained and consulted by Forston Consultants, and because of your proximity of where you live at, yes, you will go with me. So I hope you do join the coaching because I want to be able to show you what it looks like. A lot of people teach stuff but never give practical advice. We give that even on here live, but because of your proximity of where you live at, if you took the coaching, you would absolutely go to a lot of these appointments with me. Yep. Got another one, Miss Shay?
There, yeah. And for Miss Joanne, just to remind you that you have that access to us. So make sure we have a call before you go to this meeting, so we can help you to prepare for this meeting appropriately. So that way you're really discussing the facts and being able to
Yep.
articulate well the services you provided that you provide. We had a great meeting, Derek, on Sunday night. Was it Sunday? Yeah. We did a live in our community and we discussed some things that were super, amazing. And I will be putting that in the community, the recording in our private community on tomorrow, so that you all can review it and watch it. But this, again, stems to pretty much gives a feedback on what we discussed on Sunday. And I want us to definitely meet with Joanne before this meeting. So make sure you have some time this week, Miss Joanne, before that meeting, that we do hop on a call.
Absolutely.
Bianca said, I need to move to Orlando. No, sis, we need you to hold the phone, hold the phone, hold the phone. There's
Also,
just
I want to give a big shout out to the actual social worker that I was telling you guys about 20 minutes ago. I won't say her name. I'll just call her Miss EG. She's actually live right now on Instagram. So this is what I'm telling you guys. Sometimes even when I'm live in my social media, guys, it's reaching the social workers and the case managers. That's how they know about me. Now, obviously, we had a relationship before this because of the other hospital she used to work at. But remember, guys, I talked 20 minutes about relationship. She's right now on this live. Now, whether she popped on because I just popped across her screen or because I visited her today, that's just the example that I'm giving you. How will she know that I'm available and that this is what I do if I'm not going live and if I'm not posting on Instagram and Facebook about what this is? Because remember, guys, they have a hard job to do. If you've never been a social worker or a case manager, it's tough, because you're giving these tough cases of sometimes for people that, you're trying to discharge, but nobody may want them for whatever reason. But your job and your boss is saying, discharge the guy, discharge the guy. But where do you send it? But because the relationship that we have when it comes to housing and the need for housing, he says, who can I call that may take this guy when everybody else said no? Call Derek. Because watch this. We laugh and we joke and we play a lot, but I want to be serious for 2 seconds, right? In this business of what we do, sometimes you'll come across what may be sometimes a client that has a sexual offense, maybe a sexual offender. A lot of housing providers won't take that guy. But guess what's the name of my housing program? It's called Second Chance Housing. So how dare I not give a guy a second chance, especially if it happened over 25 years ago? Sometimes when these guys make a mistake in their life, it haunts them for the rest of their life. And most people act like it just happened last month. But this guy, his offense was over 25 years ago. Was he wrong with what he did? Absolutely. But does he deserve a second chance after 25 years? Absolutely. And that's what we do, guys. So without me, because everybody else that they call, everybody said, nope, 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 nope. Sexual offender, nope. Sexual offender, nope. We'll call him back. And they never call back. I today interviewed this guy in 20 minutes, fell in love with him, and was ready to move him in today. And the decision is probably going to be made on that within the next 2 days because of some other things that we know we have to kind of cross our T's and dot our I's on. But I'm going to be housing this guy, guys, in the next 2 days. Otherwise, without me, he'd be homeless on the street. And that's why this is a ministry, not just a business. Because remember, the Bible says the poor and the needy will always be among us. And we're to take care of the poor, the needy, and the widow. And guys, we're doing it through real estate. Okay, so I'll land my plane there. Thank y'all so much for enduring this all night tonight. We usually go to about 7:30. So I'm about 1 minute over. I did pretty good tonight. I'm going to go back to the chat for 2 seconds because I want to make sure that we get all the questions. But again, guys, make sure that you follow the steps of getting started. The first step is to watch the webinar. My assistant Alex has put it in the chat of how you can sign up to do that. And I'm very proud that I will say this too. Not a brand new one that we're going to be releasing soon. But for right now, we want you guys to watch the webinar. Let's jump on a strategy call and see how fast can we get you started. And also apply for the scholarship. So again, Shay, if you can help me with a few questions, I want to knock those out. Carly says, I just spoke to a probation officer today about the same thing, Derek. And Carly, that's what I'm talking about. Again, the probation. Carly, I know a lady right now that has 26 ILFs, and guess who she houses? Everybody that's on probation. Everybody's got an ankle monitor. That's her niche, guys. She's found her niche. So again, if you want to help people that have an incentive to do well in life or they go back to jail, that's the probation place. So why wouldn't you call the probation city, or excuse me, the probation officer in your city, the probation building in your city to build that relationship? Remember, we talked earlier about building relationships. Why not find the probation officer in your city, their office, and do a little presentation? Tell them what you do, who you are, and what you offer. And watch your phone start ringing off the hook. Because remember, the whole goal to this thing is to get your phone ringing. Because if nobody calls you, how do you serve these people? If Miss EG doesn't call me last week and this week, I never get a chance to interview this guy. I never get a chance to go to the VA to meet other people. And because of the relationship with Miss EG, he's going to introduce me to other people so that I can talk about my program and how I can help them. Guys, it's a win-win situation. They win because I help them do their job better and easier and faster and more efficient. And then I win because this is my heart's desire. I want to house these people. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay, so I'm going to go back to the chat real quick. Let me make sure I knock these out. Somebody just called Janine the HRA maven. Ooh, I love that. Janine, we love you. You are the HRA maven. I love it. Nove, thank you so much for those questions, and I hope that I answered everything just right for you. Here's another one. I love questions. Let me get it. What are some ideas for niches in this industry? Now, if you're talking about clientele, I can name a couple, but if you're not, you stop me. So military veterans, teenagers aging from the foster care system, women that are escaping domestic violence, military veterans, elderly adults. Oh, and by the way, elderly adults. That's my favorite, actually. So my favorite, and the reason why is because the elderly adults are pretty much settled in their ways. They're not trying to find the next drug to try. They're not trying to find a boyfriend or girlfriend. They're not trying to find the club. And they're not trying to get off the chain pretty much usually. They're usually settled in their ways and want to be just chill, nice, cool, easy breezy, right? But some people say, Derek, I want to house the teenager agent from the foster care system. That's my dream, Derek. No problem. As long as they're an adult, you can do that. So Nove, if that's what you meant by populations that we serve, that's it. Now, if I missed it, you let me know. And thank you too much. And thank you as well, Miss Tony. I appreciate you. But yeah, this is exactly what we do, Tony. I'm a part of that room that you were in Sunday. I've been in that room for probably 3 years or longer. That's why I learned to buy real estate. Because my model is that we're going to rent these places. But until I'm able to buy, I'm going to rent or I'm going to lease. Because as a poor social worker, I couldn't buy no house. But I could sure rent one. And that's what started all of this. So Nove, you're very welcome. Your family now. Thank you also to Miss Tony, your family now. Nove's in a pop, so you're super family. Proximity just makes you family anyway.
Stay around, Novea, because we'll be having an open house. So you'll get to meet us in person if you're available.
Yeah, Nove, you're invited. And you'll be able to tell people, hey, I went to see Derek's house, Shay's house.
Hey, Alex, I want you to do me a favor. Can you create another automation and have it to where we can just send updates to people, that have them like text open house to the number, and that way we can keep them informed of open house.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Of the open house, the dates and what's happening. I'll love to do that so we can keep people updated on that, what the dates are looking like. Currently, all we're waiting for is we're on, glory to God, that we've got partnerships here locally, and the house is being fully furnished by an organization, and we're just waiting for our truck to come in, literally. So once our truck comes in, we'll be doing that. And the other thing we're waiting on is the completion of the deck for the pool. They're going to cover the pool with a deck, and once that is done, we'll be forward bound to open house. So keep that in mind. And if you are interested, I'm going to have Alex set up something. So come back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, or tomorrow by 10 a.m. No, not 10, because Alex isn't in by that time. So tomorrow by 2, if you send a text message that says open house to the phone number that is streaming across the bottom of the screen, that's 407-326-0086. That way, just text the word open house, and that lets me know that you're interested, and we'll be able to create some emails and updates that keep you all informed of, and text messages that keep you informed of what's going on and when we'll be having that open house. So Alex, let me know if you can do that. And there's also another thing I need from you, Alex, to do, as I've got something brewing up my sleeve. So Janine talking about she's all alone in California, Derek, and all these people talking about they feel so
Cut it out,
lonely.
Janine.
I got something up my sleeve, y'all. So I need to have Alex send out a survey. Yeah, we already got people texting open house already. So Alex, if you can create that, I would appreciate that.
Yep.
But I've got something up my sleeve, ladies and gentlemen, but you've got to be here and you've got to be signed up with Forston Consultants. Get in our CRM so that we can inform you of what is going down. Just know that we love the month of June, and I hope you love it too. But just know that we are working on
know about that month of June, Shay.
Huh?
Neonta may know about that month of June.
That month of June is special, right, Neonta? and Tiffany. Tiffany and Neonta know about that month of June.
That month of June is special now.
That month of June is special. But anywho, I just wanted to say thank you, Derek, for allowing me to be faceless on the on the platform tonight.
No worries. I think we held it down.
Y'all did amazing. I'm so proud of you. And it was so great to see our dearest big little sister Tiffany on the line today. Like, that was a blessing to me. I miss her face.
Yeah, I really appreciated that. Yep.
Yeah, I miss her so much.
And Shay, I think we noticed something about her hair too, Shay. I'm trying to put my finger on it. Tiffany hair wasn't always jet black. I think I remember some blonde, what? Shay.
It was not.
I think I remember the last time it had some blonde in it. Tiffany hair was not always jet black.
You got it, D.
She may fool you, Shay, but she ain't gonna fool me. I think, Shay, there was a little swirl of that little gold like color in there one time, Shay.
That's right. You are correct.
It was.
You are correct. Tiffany got Tony Braxton fine again now.
She went Tony on the Shay.
But yeah, we have some stuff up our sleeve. And for those of you that join our mailing list, Alex, those people that are sending in those text messages, can you at least get them a contact card so we know how to address them, who they are? Fill out that contact card that will be a response to whatever you've put in via text if you're not in our system. The goal is to keep you informed with anything that we've got going on. We've been, asked to do some things this summer, and we are going to move forward on them. And we want to keep you all informed and updated and give you the first opportunity to know what's happening. We don't want to blab it out over on these YouTube streets, but we want you all to be first in line to know what's going on. So definitely sign up on our website to get information. And that's it, Derek. I land my plane.
Absolutely. I want Tiffany to bless us real quick before we get a word from David and Dennis. Or actually, know what? I tell you what, because that'll give Tiffany time to prepare. Actually, we're going to get a word from David and Dennis. But Tiffany, I want you just to be an encouragement as we get ready to close out. If anybody's thinking of moving forward, Tiffany, I just want you to give your own little story of why do you think they should move forward? What's all involved in the coaching? Why do they need it? So again, let's hear a word from David and Dennis. And then I'm going to let Tiffany give you guys an encouragement that if you're thinking about starting your own housing program, why should you consider Forston Consultants?
Hey, David, did you know that you can start your own housing program and it doesn't require you for you to own the property and you do not need a license? So how in the world would you do that? I was always told that you had to own the property and that there was always some kind of special license that you had to get from your city to do this. People always told me that there was lots of red tape to jump through. So you mean to tell me these are also not group homes? It's actually simple. They're called independent living facilities, and Forston Consultants actually created it. They hold the trademark for it. So I follow them religiously on Instagram at Forston Consultants as well as Facebook. And every Monday night at 6 p.m., they actually go live on YouTube at Forston Consultants, and I follow them there as well. So you mean to tell me my dream of becoming this housing provider that I've always dreamt of is closer than I realize? And again, you're telling me I don't need a license and I don't have to own the property. Absolutely. You do not have to own the property. You don't have to be a nurse. You don't have to be a CNA. And you can get started as soon as tomorrow. Click the link below for more information.
All right. Miss Tiffany, talk to us. If anybody's thinking about getting started, why should they consider Forston Consultants?
I have been or come across a lot of coaching over the years, but I would say that Forston Consultants is the real deal. Everything that they talk about in these rooms, on these lives, all of this, everything, the heart that they give in and put into these, they are truly for people and they are for God. Their love of God is just amazing. And the coaching that when they say they're going to hold your hand, they are going to hold your hand. Like I mentioned earlier, I had an open house, and my open house was actually the day of Derek's birthday. And he told me on one of these calls, he was like, Tiffany, you can call me on your open house. And I was like, oh, okay, did he forget that was his birthday day? And like seriously, that morning, matter of fact, he didn't wait for me to call him. He called me. He said, hey, you ready? You got this, you got that. We went over our checklist. He said, oh yeah, and by the way, I got Mom Forston on the line. We getting ready to pull her in so we can all have a prayer together. I mean, like, it amazed me that he was willing to take out his time out of his schedule and out of his special day to make sure that my special day went right. So everything that they talk about on here, believe me, guys, it is 100% the truth. And just the things that you're going to be, you will never know how many lives you will be able to touch actually providing independent living for individuals. Like, trust me, it is so rewarding. It's beyond anything that I could have ever imagined, and definitely one of the best decisions I've made in my entire career. So I suggest definitely stay connected with the Forstons, the consulting services, all of that. Like, definitely just stay plugged in, because even if you don't have what you feel like you don't have everything you need right now, stay plugged in here, because this is where you're going to get what you need. I assure you of that. So don't ever look back like, oh, I may be making the wrong choice. If God put you in this room and at this time, trust me, this is exactly, and God knows the hearts of these people. Trust me, they know exactly what they're doing, and they're going to lead you right. So definitely stay plugged in, and welcome to the family.
Good stuff. Welcome to the family. I love it. Miss Shay, can you bless the people real quick, even though they can't see you? Bless the people real quick, Shay, and then we'll close out.
Bless
Thank
the
you so much too,
Lord,
Tiffany. I
oh
appreciate
my
that.
soul.
My soul.
No, I'm just joking, but definitely
That wasn't me, Tiffany. Tiffany was like, that Derek singing? That wasn't me, Tiffany. I don't sound that good. You saw Tiffany face, Shay?
No, but
Tara don't let me sing.
no, Tara doesn't. Tara does not. She tells Derek, no, Mr. Derek, stick to coaching. But again, y'all, we always say it. We greatly appreciate the opportunity to be able to share this information to you all. We don't take it for granted that you spend time with us on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Saturdays here on these social media platforms where we get to share with you our journey and what God is showing us and allowing us to do. um and it's a blessing. So if you haven't already, I will ask that you all check out the Angela Denise Foundation and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. That is Angela Denise Foundation, Denise. And uh, check out what we're doing. Partner with us, whether it's in prayer, praying for our ladies as they are, transitioning from homelessness to hopeful, and really reestablishing relationships and connections. Partner with us at Second Chance Housing. Pray for our residents. Pray for all of the ILF members that have residents. Keep us covered. Keep them covered, because this is something that is an amazing opportunity for these individuals to find community and housing. And we just, like I said, your prayers are greatly appreciated to cover them, because they are really have been through some things and are now afforded an opportunity to do better, to come up in life, and to be able to reestablish whatever it is that they lost in the past, to make life better. So again, I just want to say thank you all for allowing us the opportunity to give you access to what we do and to see what God is doing through each and every one of us. And hopefully it ignites that fire in you to want to do something great in your community and to help those that are truly desperately needing the assistance and the help when it comes to housing. We don't know, people, the look of homeless, excuse me, is so different from what it used to be. And you never know who's that person you're standing next to in the line in the grocery store, even at your workplace, that is now living in their car or going through a situation or a circumstance. So be that help that somebody needs. So I land there. I just want to say thank you.
Good stuff. Well, Shay, thank you so much. I missed your beautiful face today, but thank you so much for helping me in the background. And again, guys, I'm checking this last time because Shay is not actually on screen, so I won't get in no trouble for staying a little extra. So I'm going to check one more time on the comments and questions. I want to make sure that we honor all the new people. And again, don't forget, guys, we're just like that new church that you go and visit. We got a free gift. So text new to 407-326-0086. And we want to give you guys a free gift. I also want you guys to slam my schedule full this week and next week, because I want to talk to you. I want to get on a call with you, because again, you probably already wanted to do this. I always tell people, if you're in this room, you probably love God, you probably love people, and you probably love real estate, or you want to get into real estate. So again, watch the webinar. Go be nosy on our YouTube channel. Click that live button to watch the longer content. Click videos to watch the shorter stuff. But if you want to just soak it up, click the link that says live. All of that stuff is probably 2 hours or longer. That's where you should sit with your family, your spouse, your business person, or even your church. There's a lot of you all that are introducing this model to your bishop and your pastor. We appreciate that. And again, no matter where you live in, all 50 states, after your pastor has seen this and they love it, and if they want us to come travel to talk about it, we'll jump on a plane. No problem. We do that all the time. If your church want to know what this is and how to implement it in their community, because guys, all the needs go to the church anyway. So the church is usually already doing great things in the community. How great would it be that you tie this to your church? How great would it be that maybe if your church didn't do it, that you do it as the liaison between your church? So again, guys, open your mouth this week and tell people about this, right? A closed mouth doesn't get fed. Tiffany, do y'all say that in Oklahoma? A closed mouth don't get fed?
Yes, we do.
Okay. So that's the same in Oklahoma, Florida, or California. Janine, do y'all say that in California? A closed mouth don't get fed. Again, guys, don't matter what you do, people need to know about it. So my people that are afraid to do social media, don't forget about every Tuesday night. We show you how these virtual assistants can help you do that. So every Tuesday, guys, we talk about VAs and the best CRM system in the world. So here's my team, my executive administrator, guys. Her name is Tara. She runs all businesses for us. She runs all of our VAs. All the ideas go across Tara before we do anything. Tara's a genius, 10 times smarter than me. I got a lot of ideas, but nothing happens without going through Tara and Shay. Okay. Jess is my program manager for Second Chance Housing. She's my business associate as well as my schedule manager. Alex is with me tonight. He's my live session assistant. He's a part of Digital Flow Solutions. He's a part of VA 101, and he's a part of our website creation business. So if you're getting a website built right now, Alex is probably building that for you. Danish is our website developer. So nothing happens on the back end of y'all websites without Danish. All of those workflows and me telling you to text this phrase to this number, Danish does all of that. And we want to show you how you can implement this in your business tomorrow at 6 p.m. All of that social media that you guys see out about me and what we're doing, and even these PowerPoints, April builds a lot of that stuff, guys. I'm not techie. I'm not good at it. Remember, guys, Shay and I own 7 other businesses besides this consulting business, but they're all ran by these VAs. I'm just a thought leader, guys. I'm not very techie. I can just barely turn this computer on, guys. That's how bad I am. But when I have an April makes me look like a genius. And that's why we're able to make passive income. And we teach you guys how to make money in your sleep by using a virtual assistant to do work for you. And if you're real smart, when you get your own VA, you find 10 people in your cell phone that you can also do social media management for, email management, Instagram, Facebook, all of that management, the right blogs and newsletters, all of the things that a VA can do for you. So that's what we teach a lot of people. When you get that VA, don't just be selfish and use the VA only for yourself and your business. Guys, use that VA to help other people. Amber is in charge of VA 101. Some of y'all got VAs this week and last week. You probably met with Amber. Tara and Amber are in control of VA 101, that business that I own, but I don't run it. Tara built it. Tara branded it. Tara does all the interview setup and creates the pool of people. Guys, I don't do that in the Philippines. Tara does that, and Amber runs it all. If you had an interview this week, raise your hand. Put a number 7 in the chat. I guarantee you Amber did your onboarding. She was great, wasn't she? Tell me I'm lying in the chat. Hannah was the first VA we ever hired over 2 years ago. But Hannah works several different businesses for us, for other people. Remember, I just told you 13 seconds ago to find 10 people in your cell phone that you can do business management for? That's what Hannah does. We're managing a restaurant in Bermuda right now because of Hannah. I don't do social media. I don't do reels and TikTok videos and all of that stuff. Hannah does that. Hannah creates their menus. Hannah creates their social media. Hannah does the reels. So Hannah works for about 4 or 5 different businesses that we kind of run and oversee, but that are not ours. Somebody is paying us. And it sounds like this. Derek, I want a VA, but Derek, I don't want the VA. I want VA work done for me, Derek, but I don't want a Hannah. No problem. We'll manage and work with Hannah. Hannah will do all your work for you. And if you guys are real smart, you join us tomorrow at 6 p.m. and we'll show you how you take our company, use our affiliate link, and literally the next day, you can tell people that that company is yours. So VA 101 that Tara built for us is Tara. Just as a reminder, Tara built VA 101. Guys, when you go to va101.co, not .com, .co, you literally can sign up on the link that says become an affiliate, and you guys can start advertising that you have a virtual assistant staffing agency because we let you do it. And when you get your own affiliate link from us, it's like you got your own website, and you never tell people that, well, that's Derek's website. That's Derek's business. No, you don't. Advertise it like you own VA 101, and you get 20% of every sale. So imagine you now telling your business owners, your entrepreneur friends, your pastor, your bishop, that they can get an assistant for $5 an hour, but now you make 20% of that sale. So VAs from us are for one VA is $697, one-time fee, $5 an hour. Two VAs is $997, one-time fee, two VAs. Okay. So again, that's tomorrow. Again, thank y'all so much for joining us. I don't see any other questions. So I'm gonna just say thank you to each and every one of you that came out tonight. I would implore you guys to soak up this information, but also share it. So if I can get 10 people to share this to somebody else or share it on your personal page, we also pay you for that. So if somebody sees it and then joins us because they saw your post, we pay an affiliate for that, guys. So we ask you to do nothing for free. Pretty cool, right? So thank y'all so much. We'll appreciate it. I hope that we said something tonight that can change your life or your family's life, because essentially we want y'all to start your own housing program without a license, without a sprinkler system, without having to jump through red tape and your government agencies. Because the only requirement to do this is a big heart for people, a love for God. And if you love real estate, ding, 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 you just hit the jackpot. So again, guys, without further ado, I'm going to pray us out here. Father God, thank you so much for the seed that was sown tonight. Thank you for the ability to give, God, what you just gave me. Father God, tonight I ask that you remove the spirit of fear, because you did not give us that, but you gave us a spirit of love, power, and a sound mind to do your will. So Father God, today, open up every door of opportunity for real estate, for case management and social workers in terms of relationship. God, allow this information to come back to their remembrance by your Holy Spirit and allow them to move at the speed of instruction to do it. Father God, make the way easy for each and every one of these people, because God, you did it for me, and you're no respecter of persons. Because God, again, we want to do your will. We want to help people. We want to be respected by our community. And God, we want to make a bunch of money to continue to build the kingdom of God and to push, God, your agenda, not our agenda. God, let your will be done in these people's lives. And everybody that's under the sound of my voice right now, God, these people are healed, they're delivered, and they're set free. There is nothing wrong with any of them. The devil is under their feet, and the devil has no place in their life, their business, or their ministry. And Father God, today again, I ask that you make the way easy and you let it work and open up every door of opportunity. But God, also close every door that you don't want us to be involved in. And Father God, again, bless these people and bless their relationships and bless their housing program. And Father God, before they ever get the first keys to their facility, we dedicate their program to you now. And we ask you and we thank you for being the CEO of our business and you allowing them and us to be the overseers of it. Father God, we give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praise. And now unto him that is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all we can ever ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. Amen. You guys be great, and we'll see you tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, right back here on YouTube at Forston Consultants. If you've ever imagined of starting your own housing program, there is no reason that after we're done here tonight that you shouldn't go to forstonconsultants.com/webinars and watch the webinar, guys, because a lot of you have wanted to start a group home or traditional assisted living facility, but that stuff takes license. It takes a lot of time to open. There's a lot of red tape to jump through. You have to ask for permission. We teach you guys how to open an ILF, an independent living facility, where you can house the homeless, displaced adults, or anybody that has a guaranteed income, and it doesn't require a license, and you don't have to own the property. Make sure you watch that free webinar at forstonconsultants.com/webinars, and then set up a free strategy call so that me and my team can get you started. Let's get back to the show. Hey, what's going on, family? Have you ever imagined starting your own housing program? That's probably why you're here. And if you're looking for one-on-one coaching, like you're kind of getting right now, but in a more of a one-on-one setting, just you and I, that's our ILF Mastery Blueprint. There's a number that they're scrolling below on this screen right now. If you text the word scholarship to that phone number, my team is going to get you some information. So first of all, I'm going to say congratulations and thank you for moving at the speed of instruction. We look forward to working with you. And again, this is only for people that desire our one-on-one coaching, which is designed to watch you succeed from going from a zero to a hero when it comes to information and knowing how to implement this independent living facility model without any mistakes. That's most important. So again, our ILF Mastery Blueprint, guys, there's a scholarship that's available for it that'll slice the price in half, which is also a no-brainer. So again, if you've ever desired to start your own housing program, but you thought you needed a license, You don't. You thought you had to be a nurse? You don't. You thought you had to own the property? You don't. Consider our I Left Mastery Blueprint, where we are going to take you to success and let God use you in your community, housing the homeless and the displaced. Let's get back to the show.